Hi everyone, hope you're all having a good day and welcome back for what's going to be our first episode on the new Moonsea server. There is a thread in the forum, the Moonsea forum section entitled Heaven on Moonsea, and I guess it's time we found out whether this is broadly speaking accurate or not. I can say in a nutshell, in the week or so since we have been transferred here, that I and my guildmate who transferred with me we've definitely found it to be the case. We are almost lag free compared to the nightmare that was Orion on around peak times, so that's great. I'm guessing that's predominantly to do with the 200 or 300 lower numbers than the two big American servers. But even that said, the numbers are still way in excess of what the old Orion was, and the whole thing's running fine, at least from what I can tell. I've tested raids and quests, around the peak time, not found there to be any issues, so that's brilliant. So yeah, I guess it's just the the extra numbers that's making the troubles at the moment for the other two. So hopefully they'll sort that out in due course. The new expansion, Lamordia, Chill of Ravenloft, dropped this week. I'm a little bit embarrassed to say I've only seen one quest, but it's for a good reason. I think it's more important to me to at least try and integrate a bit with the community and do more on that side than I was doing on Orion. And to that end, I've been joining some of the raids. That's gone really well, and the lag again just very manageable, or even non-existent in some areas, which is doubly nice considering I'm playing the arty, which if I used to take it into something like Hunt and Hunted, I remember it was commonplace to see, almost half of the missiles just disappearing into thin air. So really good on that score. And yes, I've uncommonly for me, yesterday I joined a questing group at the Cap with my ranged character Red, and that went very nicely too. So more than pleased with the lag and how we seem to be settling in. The transfer itself, I don't know why I'm bothering saying this because most any of you who hear this now will be happily transferred anyway. But it went really well. I mean, one of the reasons we decided to wait so long, first because it was enforced, they did stop the transfer process at one stage, didn't they? So we were a bit stuck. But second and most important, we didn't fancy going through the hours and hours of waiting time to do anything, plus the almost unplayable situation at the other end with everybody unpacking at once. So we decided to wait, and I think that was the best thing to do. The transfers themselves went through in, like a minute or less before you got the confirmation email. We sent the guild leader through first, and then everybody else was automatically accepted back into the guild who had been in there before. And all I had to do was give them back their officer status and job done. So that was happy days. Recently, I've been taking advantage of the revamped situation with reference to the experience gaining in heroic on lower life characters. If I understand it right now, instead of the first two lives only attracting a less XP needed to get to the heroic cap, now it's the first. I think it's the first nine. You're treated like you were a first lifer in the old system, which is pretty huge when you're trying to put. Like at the moment, I'm working on this little tank character that I made, I had him sitting at the cap for quite some time, just on a single life as a first lifer. I'd got all the gear for him and was having fun in the raids, learning plenty. For any of you interested, it was the First Life Paladin tank for difficult content. If you search that on Google, I'm sure that'll come up. A really nice guide by obviously a very knowledgeable player, fully comprehensive. You can take as much or as little out of that as what you want. I did use most of the gear out of there and found it to be really good. So at the moment, I just thought it might be nice to give him some healing amp, you know, with Paladin past lives, that kind of thing. So that's what I've been doing, and I've been very pleasantly surprised that it levels so fast, because he only needs half the experience to reach the cap. I did find it a bit strange that the bonus only applies to heroic, not to the epic. But I think people have argued in the past that the epic goes flying up that quick anyway. They don't need a bonus, something like that. But in any case, it's been very fast. I guess I'll come down to earth with a bump the next time I try and do a multi-lifed character and have to level at, quote, the normal speed again. That's going to be a wake-up call. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I tend to only, for heroic leveling, I tend to only level with one character because I don't like passing bits of gear and things about between several. So I have my others at the cap and just level the one that I'm focused on, and that seems to work fairly well for me. One thing I wanted to show, one upshot of all these transfers, apparently some guilds had bought these recoloring things here. So for the top of the ship's captain's thing, and then this big wheel on the side, look here. All of these were in plain white, I think, until, and the little things over the doors, until that we made the transfer, and one of the codes that they gave out for any guild to be able to get these, because I don't think they could organize it so the individual ones who had the things already could have it, so they gave it to us all. We could recolor the ship's fittings. So we went for this royal blue color. I think it looks very distinguished. If you're at all interested, another Google search will, I'm sure, turn this up. I think the code's valid for quite some time still, and you get a choice of all the different colors on whatever character you enter the code on. Just be aware, I think it takes up 20 odd inventory spaces when you enter that, so be ready with a spare bag space or two to accommodate all the stuff. What else have I got to mention? Yes, I was worried, you might recall, about again, I don't know why I'm mentioning this because most of you will be transferred anyway, but just on the off chance there's somebody who isn't, I was worrying about the favor unlocks and having characters locked through it. I did do my best to zero any tree that was related to favor, so Feydark and Harper and all that kind of thing. But one of you in the comments was quite right. You'd put that only the Harper tree was the one concerned, and that turned out to be the case. Everything else was usable on arrival, but the Harper you did need to unlock. I think that's by account, isn't it, rather than by character. So just having one character that had the Harper favor, but not that hadn't taken the reward, I just sent him over to the reward person in the patron, Harper patron in the tavern in Evening Star, and that corrected that little issue. So that was all fine, a lot less than I'd been worrying about. To the person who mentioned looking for something out of Vision of Destruction, I'd be quite happy to go in there with you if you're still looking. I think you were looking for a dagger out of there to help your cleric along. Fool's here is pretty decent in there. We should be. I've made him robust enough. So more than happy if you just send me a tell or a mail or something. It's he's got the -1 because somebody else must be called fools on this server. But I'm not bothered about that. Unlike some people with these names and things, I just take what I've been given or an approximation of what I'd like the name to be, and that's fine. I think both of my other main characters have got double letters in the first names just to get around the fact that somebody else got there first. What else have we got? Yeah, I've got a momentous occasion to report. I think by now most of you will know my, let's call it, let's be diplomatic and say I have somewhat of a dislike for hirelings. Just I can't even list the number of reasons why. The fact that the Healy ones will literally just stand there watching you take an absolute beating and not throw a heal in for whatever reason. I just wonder what the actual AI is, or the actual criteria for you dying. I know one of them is you actually taking damage, because if they happen to come back to you and let's say you're on a sliver of health, they still won't heal you because you haven't taken any damage. So you then have to mess about asking them to heal, and oh, it's just painful. But to cut a long story short, one of them did help me out of a stuck point in a quest recently. As I'm sure plenty of you know, one of the room types in the Shadow Crypt has these gargoyles resting up in the rafters, which sometimes are reluctant to come down and engage the party. So I had a last one stuck up there, not coming down, on a melee character. That's this little dwarf tank I've been trying to level. All I had was a crappy little throwing weapon, which would have taken me hours to chip the opponent down, and he just wouldn't come down. And I thought, hang on a minute, just put the cleric on offensive and see what happens. And one beam of light or whatever spell it was she had, and the thing was vaporized. I thought, nice one. So I guess that's one for all the times I've abused and ranted and raged at hirelings in the past. That's one in the plus column for them. I think they've still got a bit of catching up to do, but there we have it. I just thought I'd ask while I'm here. Running around a bit on the new server, we took the opportunity to change the guild name to match the name on here on the YouTube. So it's known as the Bear Party now on the in the game as well. And I got one or two friendly comments, oh, that doesn't look much like a bear, and this kind of thing. And it occurred to me that I have never actually played as a bear. So if any of you have interesting builds for that type of thing, please feel free to let me know in the comments. I was looking with some interest at Axel's bear postate build that he posted. I definitely don't fancy doing it with Dragon Lord beats, because to me, 5 Dragon Lord, it's a Dragon Lord, regardless of what the dominant class is. 15 Paladin, 5 Dragon Lord is still a Dragon Lord, so no. It would have to be something like what Axel's done. You know, he's heavily invested in the bear trees and doing bear things. That would be the aim there. So I'm all ears if any of you have any other interesting builds to offer on that side. Yeah, the new content I can't really comment about because I've literally only done one quest since it came out. We are Friday now and it came out on the Wednesday, didn't it? It looked nice enough. The thing that I remember most was there was a frosted glass window and the idea was you were sort of spying through the window to the goings on the other side of the yard. There was some nefarious plottings going on, and I don't remember that frosted glass effect being used before, so I quite liked that. But simple things please me, I know. I think that's about it for the waffle. So what I wanted to do was tell you a little story. I know, another little story about how I acquired my ignition bastard sword for this build. Let's just say that the long story short is that it was extremely painful. We went into the, for those of you who don't know, ignition is a very crowd control-y bastard sword. Really nice for dealing with trash and stopping you from getting hurt too badly while you're doing it. And it comes out of the Fire over Morgrave raid in the Vecna area. And I was aware I was short of only a few raid runes to be able to get one. And I was kind of begging with other acquaintances in the game just before we left Orion if they would be able to come in and help me with this venture. And we ended up going in there with 3 casters and a tank. For those of you who know the raid, you'll know it's a melee's paradise. Casters do not do well in there. And my druid was in there, and we had a bard and a sorcerer, all pretty squishy. And as embarrassing as it is to relate, there were 27 deaths in total. I did manage to get the runes to create the sword, so that was good. But as I know you like to do, Brian, you know it's all about the assets and liabilities column, isn't it? So in the liabilities, he owes us for 27 deaths. And that's the way I figure it when I've started going back in there, trying to beat him on my own, the Zwelinar, as he's called. So that's what I figured we would try and do today for a bit of fun. Go and put ourselves against the boss. For those of you who don't know Fire over Morgrave, it's basically just a big boss beatdown. The most important defensive ingredient of which is the fire absorb and resistance items. So as you can see, we have, well, you can't see, I'm going to show you. We have fire absorption on the boots here, which is very nice. Now, I would really like to have always on fire shield. The fact that I don't means I probably won't be able to cast it too much because the damage incoming keeps interrupting it for me. So I'll try, see how we get. We're only doing it on normal. I'll try and see how we get on with that, and hopefully it'll be enough to at least have a good crack at it.
Let the feast of souls begin.
For those of you who don't know the raid, I'll try and point out a few of the bits and pieces as we go.
Summoned by Dean Stormleaf's urgent message.
What tends to happen is the group will come up here to the main sort of assembly area and do the buffs here before the tank speaks to the person here.
The Dean stands on the podium gazing at a strange light that flickers at the edge of the platform. It looks like the air itself has been torn, as if it were a piece
So
of
when you're
paper.
ready, just speak to the person, and then the action will start around this area. You have to step towards the thing here.
I cannot leave.
So there are 2 main attacks that I know of from him. There's a jumping attack when he jumps up. When you have to try and time it so that you jump when he lands, so you don't get the fire damage. I'm lousy at that, but thankfully it's only on normal, and I do have some absorb to fire, so it won't hit us too hard. The other one is very much telegraphed. It's like a blue line that comes out from him that warns you of an impending lightning attack,
As you approach the
and
Terran's
that
base,
is best
a chill
avoided,
envelops you.
certainly by squishy
A dark
characters.
presence looms. The ethereal form of Vecna towers over you.
I
Early
don't
to
think
your own
displacement is going
party,
to help me at all against this character, so
here
I'm not
I
going to
was
bother
hoping
with
to surprise you.
displacement cloaks.
No matter.
Could
Let
do
us
with some
commence
rage.
with thee.
Or what's it called? Primal Scream, isn't it? I keep calling it rage. It's not
Terran's
rage, is
space
it?
begins to widen. It's a portal, a kind you've never seen before. You feel a blast of heat as something very large steps through. Something familiar. The Baelor's voice booms.
I return to finish what I started. This realm will burn.
Vecna purrs. Yes. And this thrice cursed university will provide kindling. I've enchanted your blade.
So I have
to
only
allow
9
a wider
haste
path to your
boosts.
army.
So I'm
Begin
sure we're going to
your
run out of
conquest,
those well before the
and let
raid
no one
finishes.
stand in your way. The Baelor needs little convincing. The battle is joined.
So my main source of healing is, of course, to spam the renewal from the Sentinel tree. Keep the quick cutter going, as well as nice damage. It's keeping my dodge bonus a bit higher. Now these Vrocs, I'll try and cut them down as we go, because they give us stacking evil damage.
Great harm.
I don't know whether I'm doing the right thing stopping to deal with them, but I'm going to try. If nothing else, it tells those of you who haven't seen the raid a little bit of something else about the mechanics. If you leave them up too long, the whole group takes this stacking evil damage. Now on lower difficulties, it's really not that bad, and you could get away with leaving them. Also, any evil absorption, there's the lightning thing. Any evil absorption items you might have. There's the jump, so if we jump, we should avoid the damage. Any evil absorption items, I'll get there in the end, could be helpful. So things like the Heart of Sulamades that we've got here, alignment absorption,
Still close by.
could be useful in here, but I'm not swapping it because that would cost us quite a bit of offensive output, so I'll just try and deal with these things as we can. You can see my attack speed is pathetically slow because we're in
Close to the Baelor.
more of a defensive spec here, Sentinel tree and
I will summon spheres of
Sentinel
Rithia
tree
ice.
and what's the one in Paladin that's defensive, the
Why is this taking so long?
one with the sacred, it's Sacred Defender, isn't it? Yeah. So we keep our,
Baelor snarl.
oh, I think he caught us with that.
I will crush them in my own time.
Keep the rage going. The rage obviously comes with a mega heal from the Fury of the Wild Tree, which is lovely. In a pinch, again, lightning, try and just sidestep that. Now as it goes along, and I'm obviously taking a lot more time than a group would to beat him down, he's going to catch fire at some stage, and I'm going to need to take him near one of these little ice orb things to put that out and make it so I can continue on. One of the good things about that is it will also remove the built-up stacks of various stuff that I've got on me from being engaged by him. These things, if you've not seen the raid before, they explode on being killed, so better to avoid that AoE. all the fire damage that you can take from it. I'm just looking around for the Vrox if I can find them. There's one of the orbs that we can take him to. Now the Vrox are sneaky, they also spawn in the other area. The opposite area, so there's not a lot I can do about that at the moment. Come out of that if we can. Missed that. So spamming the... Oh, there we go. So now we need one of these fire orb things. Let's try and smash that while he's near. There we go, and you get an indication straight away. The fire goes out and he reacts in a certain way that tells you you've been successful with it. I don't pay too much attention to these fire eater things. If you're a insta-kill caster, they can be instant killed. So that's nice if you have one such in your group, just to mop those things up. I think we have some more Vrox, but I think they're on the other side. It's that purple slashing graphic across me that's kind of telling me that we have some more. Is he over this way now? Do we have Vrox here, or... No, they're on the other side, aren't they? I think I'll just have to stomach this damage. I don't know exactly how much damage those things do, but I know it's quite a lot. Maybe I'm being a bit too careful, just getting out of the way of it. So you can see the lightning thing's quite generous. It does give you a decent warning before you get pummeled by it. Let's try and put a bit more strength on. Severed Tentacle from the Illithid event is quite nice for boosting strength on these builds. Spamming the hell out of renewal. I think we had a Vrock here. Yes, let's just pick this up while we're here.
This realm will burn.
Has he turned to fire again? Yeah, it looks like he has, so I need this ice thing again. Come on then, pal. Come on, he's not obliging us at the moment, is he? Because this other stuff is in the way. Don't think we got him there. That's unfortunate. Okay, we need another ice thing here, and there's one just here. Oh god, you two. Where is the boss? Trying. Well, I'd prefer you to come to me, insect. Where is he? Is he here? He's completely on fire. We desperately need to crack this orb, but these Muppets are in the way. Did that get him? I think so. Yeah, I think so. And he does also have the benefit, as I mentioned, of clearing any stacks that you have on yourself that he's put on when you hit one of those. Come on, we're not doing so bad. Don't do that. No more haste boost left. Come out of the way of that. Crikey, there's a crowd here. Come on, we can't be that far away from the final moment. Now, I really should have kept a haste boost for the end, because the optional at the end is to kill him within a certain time. And if you can manage to do that, you get rewarded with a second chest. Oh, has he burnt up again? Do we have... Yeah, we do. We have one down here. If you'll let me get to it. Come on, let's just get here. See all that evil damage coming in from the Vrox. Come on, I'm waiting for you. I'm not trying to run from you, I'm inviting you to come into my parlour. And now I'm stuck. There we go, we got him. Okay. Now where did he go? Where did he go? Oh, he's here. Okay, let's just take the advantage to get rid of some of these rock while he's messing about there.
Vecna chuckles.
Okay. Now this is the final denouement. We've got to get him down within a certain time. I'm not optimistic because we have no other haste or anything left, so we're just going to have to spam the hell out of the smites and hope for the best.
Flame wind touches your mind. Balor's body is a cage, the uncontrolled maelstrom of its rage.
Don't go in there.
This feat is about to explode.
Come on.
Flame wind touches your mind again. Heroes. Balor's body is a cage, to the uncontrolled maelstrom of its rage. This feat is about to explode.
Don't explode. Come on, kill it. Did we get him? Did we get him? Possibly. Do we see two chests?
The building shakes as furious demon fire releases below you.
We do. Beautiful.
Foundation of Morgrave
So,
power.
on normal, it must be quite forgiving, that objective, but on the harder levels, you'd really have to put something in, I think, at the end to achieve that. But because the focus of the whole group then is in that corner, I think it would still be all right. So happy days. Not too bad. And I think because normally a group, if they were just doing Legendary Hard with a full group, you wouldn't get to the stage like I did where you would need to mess about with these ice orbs. You'd just hammer him down in every stage and it would be over quite quickly. But on the harder difficulties, if people aren't paying attention to keeping the Vrox down and the ticking damage that comes with them, and taking him to one of these things when he blows up in flames, it can soon degenerate into a bit of a mess. So there's just that to pay attention to. See if we get anything nice from our hard-earned chests. Not this time, although the Threads of Fate is very nice. I'm still trying to... One of the things you can do, if you didn't know, with the threads is to get rare raid filigree. So if you just double click on them, for those of you who didn't know. Oops. It comes up with a little window, multi-selection window, and you can see the things you can get. So these double set raid filigree are pretty sought after. It's one way to make astral shards if you raid plenty but don't have many shards. There's some really nice stuff in there. Just thought I would mention in passing. Okay, and the other thing to do, which I would often forget when I first started to raid, is to always speak to the quest giver at the end of the raid. Otherwise, you'll be locked out. There's a when I speak to the person here, there's I think a 3-day lockout timer that begins, during which time I can't go back into the raid unless I get one of those raid bypass timers from the store. You can see the goblets grayed out there. Easy way to tell how long you've got to go, just in the general chat type /quest, and it tells us, look, Morgrave raid can be replayed in 2 days, 17 hours, whatever it is. Okay, I think that about does it. Thank you very much as always for looking, and here's to some happy adventures in Moonsea going forward. Take care.